Hello Internet, I'm Apples the Hero and welcome to a first look at the new god Kuzenbo. No, I have absolutely no idea what this is. I'm pretty sure it might be the remains of his passive though, because, well, that's a lot of text. I can imagine they would have a bit of difficulty implementing it. Oh. Have they even got that there? Have they at least got animations sorted? Huh? Is this a little minion? Oh, it died. What does it do? Kuzenbo summons and throws the powerful Nene Kappa, who can ricochet off walls. So it's a Mario shell. After firing, if the Nene Kappa bounces off a wall, it will travel 70 units from that point, up to a maximum of 2 bounces. If an enemy guard is hit by the Nene Kappa, it will burst forth from its shell and attack them.
Fight my ally!
Doing about as much damage as slapping them with a wet fish. I shall have to see. It does have scaling. On the initial hit, the Kappa attacking it has no scaling at all. Alright, let's level up a bit so I can have a look at these other abilities. No, I'm not editing this part out. I'm going through the whole thing. Why not have a look at his passive? Each time Kuzenbo takes over 2% of his maximum health worth damage, pre-mitigation, he has granted a stack of 1% damage reduction for each 2% lost as the ball of water atop his head fills. Is that a thing that actually happens? Let's get the fire giant to attack me to have a look if it actually has an animation. And it lasts 10 seconds. Maximum of 10 stacks, so he gains up to 10% damage reduction. Wait. No, the stats on the right are different to the text on the left. The text says 1% damage reduction for each 2% lost, and it's over here it says 2% damage reduction per 1% health taken. What? Maximum reduction? What? When he is knocked up, knocked back, grabbed, pulled, banished, or otherwise, it doesn't have enough space to keep on going. Also, its basic attack chain isn't in there, but this is what it looks like. I think he's supposed to be fighting like a sumo wrestler. Seems kind of just exactly what Smite would do. Well, let's see if his head's ball actually does fill up. Hit me! Oh, throw your rocks first, Fireman. Jeez. It does not appear to be filling up at all. Well then, I was right, the 3 is a line dash. It was a complete guess because I have no idea what the rest of the abilities are, because this is a first look, not a god guide. Let's have a look at 2. The spikes on Kuzenbo's back extend out, damaging all enemies who attack Kuzenbo. While active, each time Kuzenbo takes damage, the cooldown on Nene Kappa is reduced. So if he's being attacked by an Anubis, the Anubis is kind of fucked. The Anubis, I don't know whether that's pre or post mitigation, but if it's pre, if Anubis attacks Kuzenbo while Kuzenbo's 2 is active, Anubis will commit suicide. And also give Kuzenbo a free Kappa. Moving on. Sumo Slam! That's the dash I just used. He charges forward, immune to slows and roots, damaging enemy minions and using his immense strength to push the first enemy god he hits along with him. Each subsequent enemy god he hits deals damage to both that god and the god Kuzenbo is pushing. Colliding with a wall will also deal damage to the pushed god. Pushed targets can be hit a maximum of 3 times. Can I push Odin with this? Let's find out.
Yosha!
Cool. I wonder if I build cooldown I can push him all the way over there. I shall find out shortly. But first, his ultimate. He does this. It doesn't look that impressive. But what is its effects? He gains movement speed. Apparently. Kuzenbo pulls himself inward and under his shell and spins, summoning fierce currents that knock enemies back, increase his movement speed, and allow him to move freely in all directions. Damage after the first spin is reduced by 50%. And yet it still feels the need to tell you what the damage is after being reduced by 50% in numbers. Because normal people can't do halving. Which one is it? There it is. Cooldown reset. Yay. So let's have a look at what happens when I do this on Ra when I have no items. Because he also has no items.
Bathe in the glow. Bathe in the glow.
He sounds like that cackle sounds like Jeb when he dies.
Bathe in the glow.
Oh, Raj's day. Kaloo, Kalay.
Okay. So he's got a push. This is the first god to receive a push in the game that I'm aware of. Most gods get a pull, because pulls tend to be more useful. I suppose there are ones like Tear, which is more of a knockback than a push. But this is very clearly grabbing hold of them and pushing them backwards, and not knocking them up. Anyway, let's see what happens when I build damage on him. Even this isn't finished properly. Okay, now it is. What was up with that? What was up with that? Right, there should be one more item I can get. I just can't think of it. Should be a health and power item? No, that's not it. I mean, I could go for that. You know what, let's just get Void Stone. Void Stone's always a good pick.
See these guns?
No, I don't. I'll have a look at the voice pack too in a minute, because I also got that. So that doesn't appear to do any damage. That's still a big rock though.
Oh, he dare.
Alright, let's see how much damage the ult does. That's quite a bit of damage. Okay, so you've got to push them into a wall in order to get that.
Killing spree.
Beat me, and you ain't them.
So, in terms of damage guardians,
Fight me now.
he's alright. If you're fighting against a group. Look at him go.
Yay, murder.
How much health has that thing got? It doesn't say, does it? No, it doesn't. Let's just eat all this damage.
Bathe in the glow.
Rampage.
His damage isn't the best. I just realised what I've missed.
And you ain't them.
I need Water Hootie. You bastard.
Bathe in the glow.
Well, let's try this again. Right, let's get Water Hootie. That's...
A weapon? Do you not see these guns?
That's your ally, Ra.
The glow.
What's he doing? Why is it he taking damage? Is he just everyone's enemy? Ooh, I can push them into each other.
Let's watch my name.
Unstoppable.
So he has quite a bit of smacking people around. That's the feeling I get from this god. He seems to like smacking people around a lot. Right, let's swap these out for some cooldown items. Hey, that's just... and
You
this.
think they can stop me?
Right, max cooldown. I'd need to body block him in order to do that. Or have my ult up. That also works. His ult has quite a long cooldown too. Not ridiculously long like the Morrigan's cooldown, but noticeable. It is rather... Damn it, I messed up again. Alright, so I'm going to try and push him back with my 3, then ult him to keep him back, and then push him with my 3 more. It doesn't work. Okay, this is as far as I can get Odin away from his post. Oh well. So yeah, his damage isn't fantastic. He does seem to be a very strange design for a tank.
Alright, so you killed the guy.
See, he's got a damaging ability that's decent CC. This is probably the best CC in his kit. His ult kind of reminds me of Sobek's ult. If Sobek ult did damage as you moved around instead of just when you came up. And the 2 is Thorns as an ability, and the 1 is pretty much exclusively damage. And a reasonable amount of it when you got a Soul Reaver and an Ethereal Staff proc.
The glow. Fight me now.
The natural defenses
Well done, hero.
made it so that the image is so that, okay, that proves it, It's post-mitigation, not pre-mitigation damage.
The glow.
That guy is dead. Jealous?
Building cooldown seems to be kind of necessary in this guy, as his cooldowns are fairly long. Even with max cooldown reduction, it's 10 seconds, 7 seconds, 10 seconds in a minute, which is rather noticeable in terms of length. Interesting. I wonder if I can push the Odin into the base thing. Ah, it's not quite far enough. Anyway, what you all came for, can he take out the fire giant by himself? Let's get some ridiculous pots on him first. And... yes, that should do. I don't think he could. I doubt it, since his 3 only works on gods, so... oh, it does still do damage.
Watch my name. Let's do this. Fight me
And yes, he is not doing a fantastic job at the moment. Because he isn't all that tanky when he does anything. Actually, this is alright for tankiness considering he's not got anything built.
Fight me now! Fight my ally!
Damage is not that bad either. But bear in mind I have both of the buff
No,
pots
it's not the
active.
time for Sumo.
So yeah, his damage is pretty mediocre. Certainly not really. God, you'd be too keen to be building damage on it. Certainly not me. I'm not too keen on building it. So that passive does apply to camps. So I can kill this by having it kill itself.
Lightweight.
That is going to lead to some very fun kills. Meaning that you could also combo things like thorns with it, but not magic shell. But definitely something like med or bracer of undoing. Probably med because it's a regen when you upgrade it. Because with this, you can engage on someone and deal that damage, which is pretty alright ult damage. It's not like a mere ult damage, and watch it kill itself.
You think you're so big?
Especially with that Nelicaptor, which does a surprising amount of damage. The initial hit is got 50% scaling. That's 50% scaling, isn't it? And that's like 30% scaling. So the scaling is low, really low, including his ult. It's a 30% on the initial hits, and then a third of that, so 15% on each subsequent hit, and it hits a maximum of like 4 times, I think. Seems to be about 4 times it'll hit for. So that's a maximum total scaling of about 75%. That's nothing. That's barely any scaling at all. So taking advantage of things like Ethereal Staff and Soul Reaver to get extra damage in, it seems kind of key if you want to deal damage. It's just like, let's get all that damage reflection. This is where his damage really comes in, all that damage reflection. I'm not sure that Thorns actually applies to the Fire Giant though. Does it? I shall have to test that out, I'm not sure. It says 50% of all damage you take before mitigation back to its owner. But does that include the Fire Giant? Let's put it to the test. Blah. It doesn't do a lot of damage. Let's wait for his pools to come up. That's where the most damage reflection is going to be. Yep, it is working. I'll get that hot level 5. Goodness, it's just gonna die from that damage. Let's see if we can make the Fire Giant die from negative damage. It's not enough. It's not enough damage dealing with reflected damage. Yeah, he's not a damage dealing Guardian. He's got a lot of harassment. You see, I see one very big use for those Kappas, and that is body blocking. I can see people using the Kappas, the body block, pretty much exclusively for that. Like, Bastet's ult. That and it might be able to connect towers. I'm not sure whether it can. If it follows the normal Smite rules for that stuff, it should tank towers.
Fight my ally!
But Smite isn't always that consistent. So pretty
No,
well
it's
mentioned too.
not the time for Sumo.
The Fire Giant doesn't target it exclusively, but the Fire Giant doesn't seem to do that with a lot of things. But it does see it as a target.
Watch my nene!
He'll use the fire pools will spawn around him. Oh no, he will target it. So it is a full-on pet. As much as it's a light attack special, that's what it calls it. But it's no, it's a pet. It's it summons a pet. Kappa. So, yeah, interesting design. Look at that damage reflection. I'm gonna die. Yep. Anyway, let's have a look at what the damage is like if you actually build full tank bruiser instead of just plain old damage with a breastplate. So let's get power and physical protections. So that's a Dynasty plate helm, yeah. There's not really a whole lot in the way of that. Most of the ones are health and power more than just plain power, and a lot of them are focused on getting pen more than anything else. So Ethereal Staff is now a great tank damage item because it's percentage health damage. It only works on gods though, so that's the thing. And Device has always been a good one. If you choose Matter, it's normally a good pick because it gives pen. Pen is very good to get for damage on a tank. So that is a proper tank build. Pots have run out and everything because I died, but let's have a look at how tanky he is now. Not got a whole lot of health. Definitely not doing a whole lot of damage. But the two seems to be a bit counterproductive, because if you build tanky on him, the two will reflect nothing. It's reflecting. It reflected all of 50 damage from that ability then. Like, compare that to Thorns, which reflects a lot of damage.
I guess even Kappa can drown.
It's just not all that impressive, to be honest.
Gotta eat.
Which makes me think that he's a sort of god you should build more health on than anything else. So let's have a look at a high health item. Whatever sleepiest it is. Let's get the good old mystical male. That's always a good pick. That puts it up to 2,900 health. And let's sell obsidian shards too. I don't think there are any health pen items. No, there aren't. And let's get. This is a new item. It's just not very good for late game, which is basically what this is. Windblade. Windblade is always a good item. Might be so good against Fire Giant, but it's worth trying out. Let's pop those pots that I've got for some reason. Yeah, look at this. This is hitting for nothing. But because he's more health oriented now, he reflects more damage. So if you want to deal damage with that reflection, you do have to have more health than protections in your defense build. And there aren't a whole lot of fantastic options for health items over defense. But yeah, that does work a lot better, especially since I got pots activated. Anyway, so it's been a bit of a long video, I know, but rounding it all up, he gains flat damage reduction, which is fantastic as a passive, as he takes damage, making him a great frontline. He has harassment and possible body blocking. He has damage reflection, which is even better at the front line, and he's got a very forward CC, if you get what I mean, and his ult, which is just an interesting knock-up. And again, it's great for harassment. And if you want to do damage, build health and things like ethereal staff and some pen, as you normally would. His scaling's low, but you'll get a lot of reflection if you build health. That and Thorns. Thorns is always good. Med or other HP 5 and MP5 items might also be a good thing to grab, because if you're restoring health, which you often get with health items that don't deal damage, if you're restoring health, then that damage you're reflecting isn't really hurting you as much. Meaning you can make even better use of things like Thorns and his 2. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.